Morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Heart Church. As you can see on the board here, we're talking about how changing energies will affect you and the world today. But first off, as always, we want to thank the people that work with in here, the videographer, my wife Mary, and the technical support of my brother Paul. And we want to make sure that we know that everybody can subscribe, give us a thumbs up, make comments, share it with other people. We really need the thumbs ups. That's what helps get this out through YouTube to other people who might benefit from this. Excuse me. And we want to make sure that everybody's aware that this live process can be watched even afterwards, so that it can be watched at any time and go on from there to even make comments at that point, so we can better our gatherings here. Um, so right now, as we move through this, let's go ahead and take a moment and talk to your deity. A moment of prayer and talk to your deity. We do want to welcome all peoples that are watching this and invite any light spirits into this venue, and hopefully we want to deter any dark spirits from coming in. And as long as we all have light in us, we will deter the darker spirits and darker entities that are around. So let's go ahead and pray to our deity, whatever deity you want, and thank them for everything that's going on, and maybe ask for some guidance for the day. We finish up with our prayers today. Let's go ahead and take a moment for a small few-minute meditation just to relax and get into the ambiance of whatever it is that we're about to talk about today. Ask for and be able to accept what is right for you out of this talk today, and maybe make comments on the program. As we start to go into the meditation, let's just start by relaxing the top of your head, the scalp. Relax your temples. Relax your forehead. Take that crease out from in between your eyes. Go ahead and relax your eyes. your cheekbones, your lower jaw. Drop that tongue down to the bottom of your mouth. As you relax your neck, but keeping it straight, go ahead and drop your shoulders away from your ears. As we try to keep our spine as straight as possible for energies to flow through the chakras and the energetic pathways that we have in our body. Go ahead and relax your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, hands, and fingers. Relax your chest and your upper back, your belly, and your lower back. Without forcing yourself, go ahead and relax and sink into whatever it is you're sitting on as you relax your buttocks and your hips. Relax your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, feet, and toes. Sit back now and relax. With each breath out, relax a different new part of your body. Try to look through your third eye. And meditate to open yourself up for whatever it is that you are supposed to hear today. You open yourself up to come on back to this room, to the room that you are in, wherever you are, and bring with you the want to be able to bring in whatever it is that is necessary for you today to hear. Bring yourself back in and give yourself to your deity and to your spirit. So today we're talking a little bit about energies changing. There are a lot of energies changing in the world. Um, and how those energies are changing is done by in many ways, and we're not going to get into those today. Just to suffice it, we are having energies change. And these energies aren't just changing in the world, they're changing in the universe. We're affected by the entire universe, and whatever changes happen on or in the earth and on the earth um, have a ripple effect through the entire universe. So what do these changes do for us? Well, that's an interesting question because these changes are bringing up the vibration of the earth mother and are changing, which is stimulating us to change our vibration. It also stimulates us to do shadow work so that we can raise the vibration, and it stimulates us to start asking those questions that we talked about questioning everything last week. We've spoke about the vibrations, raising our vibration, and we've spoke about questioning everything. And in a little bit, we're going to get into a little bit of shadow work and understand. But before we do that, I want to get a little bit into what we're seeing on the earth or in the earth, um, that creates how do I want to say this? It can create a lot of chaos. Anytime something changes, as you probably know in your own life, I know in my life, anything time change happens and we don't want it, we fight it. And that creates chaos inside of us. Therefore, when the Earth Mother is changing and when the entire world population are starting to change, there's chaotic stuff going on in the Earth. Some people don't want to change, so they try their best to hold on. But there are both internal and external changes going on. These changes can happen externally through natural disasters while the Earth Mother is changing her vibration. It could be anything like hurricanes, wildfires, um, earthquakes, mudslides, any number of cyclones, of course, as well, and any number of things of volcanic action, tsunamis coming from volcanic action. These are all the changes in the vibration of the earth, and these are external to us or seem external to us. And I say seem external to us because we all react to them. And we can have problems inside our own selves because of these external things. Um, when a person when there's an earthquake that happens and we get all upset because we don't know, there may be people we know are in the area and we don't know what's going on with them. Maybe those people that are being affected, we want to help in one way or another. Um, it's affecting us. It's giving us kindness. It's giving us compassion. It's giving us anxiety because we know things that we want to do that we can't. It's giving us all kinds of different possibilities of what happens. There's also man-made um, disasters that happen, and such as airplanes falling out of the sky, such as small accidents going on in the local towns, more car accidents because people aren't paying attention. They have their mind on other things. That's because the vibrations are changing and they're not changing as fast as the vibrations are, maybe. Um, there could be small accidents even on your own thing. You fall off of a ladder, or you have an accident with some tool that you're using, a power tool or whatever. These are what I call man-made disasters. These man-made disasters are because, as I see it, are because we're not paying attention as closely as we possibly can to what's going on around us. And we're not going with the flow and not accepting the energies that are coming to us. And therefore, we are making these small little mistakes that create what seem to be small little mistakes that create these. It only takes a small mistake on a car repair that might end up causing an accident. Might only take 1 second of looking off to the side of the road that can cause a car accident. So we have to be a little more particular while these energies are moving so rapidly. We have to take a little more, uh, uh, pay a little more attention to bringing our own safety. Um, of course, then we have the political and social turmoil along with this. And that, of course, means wars, protests, demonstrations, people that want to fight for the control because they don't want the changes, so they're fighting to have things stay with the status quo. And these are both political and social controls. It's not just one or the other. And that's for you to figure out. I'm not going into that kind of stuff today. That's not what we're here for. I'm just here to bring about the fact that this is all chaos. This is all the chaos that happens when changing vibrations are going on, and we are stimulated to change things. And some people that don't want to change, want to still keep the control changing. So, so that's really where we stand with where. So that's really where we stand with where changes happen on the and since while we're changing, one of the things that we want to be looking at is how do we what are we supposed to do? And I suggest that because of all this, we might consider striving to become one with the unified field, become one with your higher power, become one with whatever deity you deal with, and come to the awareness that we are all part of the whole, that we are all together here, we're all part of the whole. And that's where meditation, prayer, and shadow work comes in. Oftentimes we pray for ourselves instead of praying for the whole, and that's what we ought to do. Is we ought to pray for all peoples of this whole, as we are all one. And so prayer can become very, very important, but prayer is a very, very powerful process. It's you talking to your spirit, talking to your deity, talking to whatever other saints or gurus that are passed on, or sages, whatever it might be. When you're talking to them through prayer, they all come around to help. Even the angels and the archangels and any of the light spirits that are out there will come and work with you. And this is how we change, is by talking to the light spirits. This helps to raise our vibration. This helps to bring out the possibility of changing everything around us. And then we go into meditation, and I know a lot of people. There's a lot of different thoughts on how meditation can work and will work, and that's fine. My personal observation for me is that when I pray, I'm talking to my deity, to my people, my guides, my angels, whatever. When I meditate is when I'm listening. That's the meditation, is listening for their response. And I think we've mentioned in the past that this doesn't always happen while you're in the meditation. It can happen later on during the day, next week, whatever. You get the answers though, and meditation opens you up to get those answers. It calms you down enough to be able to see them, to be able to expect them, to be able to not expect them, but to be able to accept them. And part of what we want to talk about today is it's a little bit shadow work. We're going to talk about shadow work here, and shadow work is a little bit of a misunderstood situation, I think. We all have shadows. There's probably not a person alive that doesn't have a shadow of some kind. Um, how do we get these shadows? Well, it's my opinion that there are three main development stages of our life. For the first 7 years of our lives, we are in an emotional state. We are playing, we are pretending, we are being anything and everything our emotions want us to be. And we're pretty much allowed to do that. But I say pretty much because not everything. We're told that if we have an imaginary friend, and our parents might say, "Oh, well, that's just an imaginary friend. It's not a spirit," but it might be a real spirit that's with us that we can see because we are as close. We are so close to the spirit world at that point because we have just come from the spirit world into our bodies. And so we're told a lot of things are not right, or we're told to sit down and shut up. My favorite thing is saying we spend our parents spend the first 2 years of our lives telling us to teaching us to walk and talk, and then the rest of our lives they tell us to sit down and shut up. So that's really something that happens, and so we start putting in ways of being accepted. Oh well, I can't have a spirit friend, so I'm going to just have an imaginary friend, and then I start shutting things down. Oh, my parents want me to do this because this is wrong, so I'm going to do this because I want their acceptance, I want their love, I want their whatever, their attention. So I'm going to conform to that. Or maybe it's not your parents. Maybe it's your um, faith system that tells you you can only be one way. Maybe it's your the children that you play with at the daycares and whatnot that you try to conform to, and you start shutting things down to be accepted into those areas. So you start shutting down your emotions, and that's where the shadows come from. But then all of a sudden we're in school, and now we're being taught exactly what we have to know. Whatever we're not taught in school is not good. If we have other ideas and the teacher says or the school district says or the principal says or whatever says, no, that's not right, you have to do it this way, you have to do play this way, you have to go to recess this way, but you're being taught. So now you're in a mental capacity, you are left your emotional, you're starting to learn how to be in a mental capacity. Okay, so now all of a sudden you're learning how to manipulate things through your head, all through your head, and you're leaving your emotions behind. Then the next 7 years, 14 to 21, you go into the physical phase. Remember when you were 8, 9 years old, to kiss a girl or to kiss a boy was yuck. Didn't like that. Now you're getting into the physical stage. You're going through puberty. You're attracted to the opposite sex. You're attracted to athletics, and you're attracted to all these physical things. You're building your body up. You're finding yourself, but you still are working through the mental. You're still in school, and you're still working through the mental. So now you're doing both. You're working with both mental and physical. Okay, and we're taught to live through that mental and physical. We spend 14 years being taught between the mental and physical sides. We're being taught to live through that area of our development. What happens then? Where do emotions go? We've shoved them down. We're never taught how to live emotionally, mentally, and physically. We're taught how to live mentally and physically, and we just shove the emotional part away. It's just gone. It's just gone. That's your shadows. All those emotions that you have stuffed, all those feelings you have stuffed. So we have to retrain ourselves when we do shadow work. We have to retrain ourselves to get in touch with those emotions. We don't have to necessarily know the circumstance that created those emotions. We just have to know how to feel those emotions, how to feel those feelings, and integrate them into our lives. Let's face it, we are everything that we've done in our lives. Now, I'm not going to get into past lives and all that. I'm just talking about this incarnation. We are what every experience we've had helps to make up who we are in this incarnation. So by pushing away the emotions, by pushing away the feelings, we are pushing away part of yourselves. So we're not really trying to bring these emotions up and say, okay, I know what that emotion is, goodbye. No, that's not what we want to do. We want to integrate it. We want to bring it into us because that is still part of us. Every little thing that has happened in our lives is part of us. And since we've thrown it away, we want to integrate it back in and be able to see the whole of us, the whole of of us as a person, because we are that whole. And so we want to do the shadow work. Um, there are different ways of doing shadow work, but I will only say this much about it. If you Because we're being stimulated. There's no doubt about it. We are being stimulated by the vibrations, and it is bringing up things. We might get angrier than we used to. We might get more anxiety than we used to. We might get more depression than we used to. We might have physical ailments that are caused by these things that are forced back. And so, I mean, physical ailment that could be caused are very simple. I mean, it could be something as simple as what I have is of diabetes, or it could be heart problems, physical ailment. Um, can be part of this, be brought on by us pushing things back, and we just don't know how to deal with them. And so if you're wanting to do something with the shadow work, you feel that you're being stimulated by the energy influx to do something with this, then the only suggestion I would really make is find someone who deals with shadow work that can be supportive to you, because shadow work can be very scary, and we don't want people going off the deep end just because of their shadow. We want them to be able to have the guidance to integrate it, to have the trained person that has, because most trained people have done their shadow work. Doesn't mean that they're completed, but they've done enough to be able to help you to get started and get going through the worst of it. So you want to find someone who will do that for you. There are plenty of people out there that are able to do that. I'm sure that that's a possibility for most people. You can use a there are books out there that will help you too, but you should still possibly get a person that can help support you through it. Reading about it and trying to do it on your own oftentimes is not a real good way of doing it. Um, you need somebody you can trust to help you go through it. I've gone through some of mine with a professional, and I've done some of mine with a professional and a book together. Now, I've not completed my shadow work. Um, I will continue with it as necessary, as it's brought to me, and it's being brought to me every day. New things that I have to deal with, and some of them I don't deal with well right away because of the chaos that goes on inside of me. I fight with myself. I fight with myself about what is this feeling? Why do I have it? And then I explode outwardly toward other people because I am in turmoil. I am in chaos. So it's not something that you're going to oh, everything's fine and dandy. It's going to be um, rainbows and puppy dogs all day long. You know, I will bring something. Everybody says it's not going to be a bed of roses. Well, I want to tell you something about a bed of roses. There are more thorns than there are roses in that bed of roses. So if you want a bed of roses, you better be ready for all those thorns because they're going to poke you and bring stuff out. And that's a good thing. I will tell you that if you work with your shadow work, the light at the end of the tunnel will be a better light. You will be a freer person. You will be a better person. You will feel better about yourself. You will love yourself better. You will be able to help raise your own vibration. You will be able to become more easily become more part of the unified field. You will see only in hindsight will you see what you have accomplished. You won't see it as you're doing it. You will only be able to look backwards and say, man, I used to be here. And now look at where I'm at today. This is a hindsight is 2020, and you're going to see so much change, not only in yourself, but the people that react and act around you are they're going to see the changes before you do, but they're going to react in a different way too, because what you put out is what you get back. So if you deal with your shadow work, if you meditate, if you pray and do all these things, your aura is going to put out the love from your heart. You want to bring all this into your heart. So you're going to bring this all out in your heart, and it's going to be a heartfelt love. It's going to be a heartfelt emotion. And then people are going to look at you and they're going to say, oh, I really like this guy. I want to be with this person. I want to do things with this person. I want to be nice to this person. I want to, all these different things. Because you're putting it out there, you're going to bring it back. And people are going to say, well, I don't know how to do all this. Well, last week we talked about spiritual mentoring. And if you don't know how to do it, spiritual mentoring might be, or spiritual advising, whichever one you prefer to call it, might be a good start. Might be the place to get some guidance from initially, or maybe for quite a while. And that spiritual advisor might know somebody or might themselves be able to help you with the shadow work. So these are some things that are available to you. Um, we're told to be childlike when we're doing spiritual stuff. We're told to be childlike. There is a difference between childish and childlike. But being childlike is to live through your emotional heart so that you are amazed at everything that's going on around you all the time. And you are in love with your own emotions, and you are in love with the superhero that you might be. And I can have all these different emotions and different things that are going on, and that's being childlike. So that's my opinion on what childlike is. I was told when I first started doing this intensive development that I've done to be childlike, and I didn't understand it at all. I just had no idea what the hell they meant. It was took me quite a while to figure this out. And then I had to deal with a lot of readings of different sages and gurus in order to find out what it meant to be childlike, because they didn't explain it. They just said, "Oh, just be childlike, and you'll be better with your spirituality." So That's why I'm giving us somewhat of an explanation on this, so that we know that being childlike is living the emotions and through your heart. So we sure would like to have some kind of feedback on this, because I'd like to know what you think about this. This is a subject that is very maybe misunderstood, and maybe not understand not just misunderstood, but also becomes work for a person. And so we'd like some comments on the subject to see what you have come up with, and how you, maybe people have already done their shadow work or have started it, and can give some suggestions on the comments to people. Maybe share some of their experiences of some of the turmoil they've gone through while they were doing it, or some of the turmoil you're going through, that because and that you feel that you need to do it. We'd like some people to share on that, and to bring out some of the good things that have happened to them, what they've seen in their hindsight as to where they've gone, and how they have progressed in their lives after doing this, what freedom they've felt, what what emotions they have been able to deal with and integrate into them, and how that has made their lives better. We'd like to have all these comments out there to help other people, because this whole gathering, this whole fellowship is about everybody working together and helping each other experience and um, experience different things and get ideas on how to do things other than just what I'm talking about, but to talk about, to help other people through your own experiences, and to help me and anybody else in this room. So, if we have any questions or comments? Sure.
Is it too late in your life is it ever too late in your life to start?
Okay, so she doesn't have a microphone over there. I don't know if you heard her. Her question is it ever too late in your life? Okay, so she doesn't have a microphone over there. I don't know if you heard her. Her question is it ever too late in your life to start the shadow work? And the answer is it's never too late. It's never too late for doing anything spiritually. It's never too late to help yourself. Um, I know that there are people who say I'm too old. I had one time I was doing a offered somebody in the family to channel Reiki to them if they chose, if they wanted to do it after they understood what it was, and this person said, "Ain't gonna help me in this lifetime. I'm too old for that." And you're never too old. You're never too old, because first of all, you bring over in the next incarnation what you've done in past incarnations. So what you bring over, what you do now, can be carried into the next carnation, or at least another incarnation, and that in and of itself will be helpful. We have to remember that only the body dies, not us. And I say that because us, me, is spirit, not this body. And we are down here to learn things. And we are down here. I don't remember if I said this once before or not, but we're not down here very long on this earth. So anything we start now can be carried over. I one time, through some readings I had, I was told that God's a day in God's life is 1,000 years of our lives. Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the book said. So I figured it out one day. If you live to be about 82 years old, that's about 2 hours of God's day. And I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't, when I went to school, I didn't master anything in 2 hours. So we have to come back to class again. And this 2 hours that I'm here for now, I'm not going to, may not master anything unless I've started it in other classrooms in other incarnations prior to this. And I will carry this on to the next incarnation. So, no, you're never too late. It's never too late. I have known people, I have heard of people, as well as known one or two people who have been literally on their deathbed and then suddenly realize that this isn't over. And they want to know what they can do in the next few hours, the next few days to change. And so they started that late in their life, in this incarnation, to look at that. It's never, ever too late. Any other questions or comments? Okay, well, if we don't have any comments or we don't have any more questions, I would just want to say thank you for being here. We appreciate everybody who watches this. Give us the thumbs up that we request, comments later on, watch it later on. Um, be be share it with other people. And as we always end this, be spiritual in everything you do. Have a great week. See you next Sunday, 10 a.m.